I know, see on. So yeah, it's quite conversations with Jackson Pastoor. We're back again, and this time I'm back with my friend, my mentor, great man of God, in the Methodist Church of Southern Africa. I know he doesn't. He's not a Methodist, though. He's just in everyone. Yeah. We're here with Mruti, Reverend Mogomotsi. I think now we're supposed to call him Reverend Dr. Mogomotsi Diutlwileng, the main man.
Pleasure, man. Why are you putting pressure on me now?
Because we're waiting for your PhD. How you been?
I'm good, man. It's been very busy, but God is blessing. It's good busy. That's what I love about it. But it's energy draining. You need to rest.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a weekend away.
Nice.
Tomorrow we're going away. It's our birthday weekend, my wife and I.
Oh, nice.
I'm on Saturday on the 8th, and then hers is on Monday the 10th. So we
nice.
going away. So I'm hoping to take some time to rest there.
That's
but
true.
We're good.
You see where the church's money is going. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
People have been saying things about me on Facebook. They will take you seriously.
I don't know. I won't take it too much long. But one of the things that I always kind of ask myself is, why are we so busy with church? Like, why does it make us so busy in our lives? Like, where does that stem from?
Well, it is in the nature of the beast, I guess, because when I'm minister in the inner city, that in itself makes the church life to be very busy, because the inner city life is demanding. There are lots of problems. You are facing challenges, crises. You are extinguishing fires left and right. People need help. People need jobs.
Yeah.
There are victims of crime that you've got to deal with, and then you have got to deal with a congregation that is as hectic as PCM.
Yes.
So you become very busy, and you see when church life becomes too overwhelming and too difficult, I sometimes find an outlet outside the church space where I can do other things. I can do a creative work.
Yes.
Writing, doing things like we are doing this podcast, this, engaging in a different work like NGOs, just to get my mind off church things, because it's been very hectic. But God's grace has been keeping us, and God has been providing. We are grateful. We are blessed.
Nice. And within your business, I was reading the other time. So what happened actually was a congregant from Westview sent me a link to your article that you did on the Daily Maverick, which was on the 26th of July. Beautiful piece. And, this congregant was asking many questions about it. I was like, hey, you know what? He's a brilliant guy. Whatever he said there before I read it. Like, whatever I said there, it's amazing, Yeah. But, and looking at that opinion article, on the Daily Maverick, is that you expressed your reflection on the dignity and the suffering and the freedom to choose the end of life, basically. So to choose the end of the life of a person. Where does that stem from?
Look, it comes from my experience with both of my mothers, my mother and my mother-in-law.
Yes.
Who were very sick towards the end of their lives. It was first my mother-in-law who stayed with us a little bit, and it was a struggle to take care of her until she passed on. And then later on, my mother with dementia.
Okay.
It's painful to watch your own suffer.
Yes.
To a point where she was now just feeding on the G tube and all that you couldn't eat and all that. And you sit and reflect and ask, is there quality of life in what is happening? Is there quality of life? Is it worth going through this? Or is there an alternative? Because for me, the quality of life includes you to have your dignity, your ability to do things for yourself, your ability not to be a burden on other people. You know, it is not just about productivity, because sometimes when you're up in age, you're in your 80s, in your 90s, you are not that much productive. But when you are healthy, it's fine, it's good. You know, but when you are sick, you are in pain, you are no longer able to live any form of quality. And then you've got to ask a question. Is it worth anything? Because we all know, and we're not talking about where medicine can still rescue the situation.
Yes.
We're talking about where there is medical evidence and there is clear proof and indication. All signs are pointing to one direction, and the person is in pain. And we are saying, open up a choice for people to then exercise their free will, God-given free will choice to die with dignity.
Yes.
And that's where I am. That's where I am with this thing. Suffering does not glorify God. It doesn't make you a virtuous person, a righteous person. No, it actually doesn't. It only goes to take your dignity and make those who care for you to suffer alongside you.
Yes.
Emotionally, mentally, and financially. You know? So if there is an option that people in their right state of mind, with proper guidance and counseling, with this legal safeguards that are put in place, they are able to get to a point where they can take a decision to say, I want to stop treatment, or I want to be assisted to rest in peace. I think we should open that option for people.
But then what are your thoughts on the moral implications of assisted dying in our society, and in the stance that it's expected from you as a man of God? Like when you're looking at yourself as a man of God who's supposed to be someone who's giving life, and then you are of the stance that these people need to be, assisted in their death.
I'm not giving life. God is the only source of life.
Yes.
We care for people all the way to their point of death. And maybe now that you're talking about that, let's bring in the question of the palliative care.
Yes.
Palliative care is obviously the first preference, where people can be cared for and be relieved of pain and be given a caring that protects their dignity until they die.
Okay.
But there comes a point where even palliative care can no longer help. Morphine doesn't help. No drug helps. The person is just in a debilitating pain. That's where we think, then let there be a choice. Now, back to your question about me being a man of God. And, there was the whole thing of people arguing that we're trying to be God.
Yes.
Medically, medical assistance in dying is not supposed to be, it's not meant, at least as we envision the legislation as Dignity SA, there is nowhere where we want to open an opportunity for members of the family to ask on behalf of the patient.
Yeah.
The husband cannot ask for his wife. The wife cannot ask for the husband, nor the parent for the child. Nobody can do that. It must be the patient themselves.
Yes.
And even before they are given that treatment, we are saying they need to ask more than once, twice, thrice, even 4 times. And there needs to be a proper counseling that ensures that they are in their right state of mind and they understand the implications of what they are asking for. Furthermore, all the medical professionals will do is to make the right medication available to the patient.
Yes.
The patient must administer that medication themselves.
Okay.
Unless they are at a point where they really cannot, and there is full proof that they have given consent, they understand what is happening. So it is going to be strictly controlled legally. It will be strictly controlled ethically and all that. All of us are going to die at some point or the other, sooner or later.
Yeah.
Either through sickness or accident, we are all going to die. So death, from a Christian point of view, is part of life. Actually, it doesn't make sense for anybody to run away from death because it is part of this continuous circle called life.
Okay.
And so, whether death came through an accident or it came through sickness, it doesn't matter. Death is death. All right? And nobody's going to live forever. The Bible doesn't promise us that. No religion promises that.
Yeah.
We know that we are going to die.
So, and then maybe let's get into a more theological conversation. How do you interpret God's role in the context of suffering?
Right. Again, in this life, there is a lot that makes us, we go through suffering. I mean, righteous men and women in the Bible went through different levels of suffering.
Yes.
Job is the epitome
Yes.
of suffering, who protested, why is it that I'm going through this? What did I do? Jesus himself, the Son of God, the sinless, the Lord, and our Master, suffered.
Yes.
Right? And I want us to understand that even Jesus Christ himself did not like suffering because he knew that suffering does not glorify God. And even as he embraced the fact that part of his journey or mission or purpose in this life would be to die for our sins, he reconciled himself with the fact of dying, but he never reconciled himself with the aspect of suffering. Hence, we see him in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he prays a prayer that seeks to avert suffering and yet embrace death and say, if this is, may this cup pass, but may it be your will. And in that single thing, we hear Jesus saying, suffering is not necessary. I don't have a problem with dying, but I have a big problem with suffering. And then he goes to the cross. I mean, the fourth word on the cross is the heart of the crucifixion project, where Christ, at the thick of darkness, cries, my God, my God,
yes.
why have you forsaken me? Like, I'm willing to do and to comply with everything you want. But this is just too much.
But wasn't that then the fulfillment of the prophecy that he will suffer?
Yes, that prophecy was given. But even he himself, as the Messiah, did not really choose suffering. You know? And we are saying, if Jesus struggled with suffering,
Yeah.
that must tell us something about suffering. That suffering is not of God. It is just the difficult part of life process that we cannot get rid of completely. And in the medical assistant dying, we are talking about unnecessary suffering that can be averted, that can be avoided. Right? I want to make an example. For instance, if you are going to make an operation that is going to make your health be better, it includes a little bit of suffering, isn't it? Maybe
Yes.
a whole lot of suffering sometimes, actually.
Yes.
But we understand that particular suffering. We can accept it because it's a suffering toward making your life better. But this particular suffering that Dignity SA is talking about is the pointless suffering where somebody is on an irredeemable terminal state where science, medicine, miracle, nothing can help in as far as human beings are concerned. And we're saying when a person has gone to that state, then suffering is pointless and useless. It can only serve nothing but to make the patient lose his dignity or her dignity and make the family to suffer alongside their loved one. And we are saying unnecessary suffering that can be averted, let it be. Let people be given a choice.
Yes.
And by the way, we are not saying everybody that is terminally ill will have to take this medication. Nobody's saying that.
Yes.
We are saying those who want to exercise their God-given right to choose, let them be allowed to choose. And did you hear? I said a God-given right, a free will to choose. And that is to say nothing about human rights and your democratic rights.
So then what linkages can you identify and highlight between the use of the free will God has given us in the context of assisted dying and his commandment not to kill?
Right. Now,
And would this be not viewed as sin?
Now, what is killing? Let us define killing.
Yes.
If we talk about killing, we talk about me inflicting harm on you that is going to end your life. And strictly legally speaking, it is called murder.
Yes.
Or if I killed you without intention, then it's called culpable homicide. But it's still killing anyway. Here, we're talking about somebody taking a free will choice
Okay.
to avert suffering. They are being counseled by a professional. their dignity and their rights are secured in the law. They are being given medical advice and medical care. And that is after palliative care could not help as well. So there is a long process that must happen, and there must be evidence that there is no other alternative.
Yes.
When a person then takes a decision to ask for medical assistance in dying, it is about compassion. Maybe let's go back to theology.
Yes.
You were talking about theology. It is about compassion.
Yes.
Because to see a person struggle like that and suffer with no hope of them being better, their dignity stripped away, their families suffering alongside them emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, and then eventually they die. All we are doing is to postpone the inevitable whilst putting a person through suffering. Now, that's cruel. If that is not cruel, I don't know what is. So medically assisted dying is meant to offer compassion when you are at your most vulnerable state. Let me close this section by showing you this. Much as right now there are people in South Africa who are opposing the request or the court case of Dignity SA to ask for medically assisted dying to be legislated in South Africa.
Yes.
The surprising thing and the irony is the fact that we allow that privilege
Yes.
and that right to animals.
Ooh.
Exactly a week ago, as we sit here, you saw that cat that was jumping all over the place.
Yes.
There was a second cat. There were two of them. And then unfortunately, it was run over by a car.
Yes.
And it was in an excruciating pain. It broke its back, it broke the leg. It was in terrible pain. Took it to the vet, and the vet said there's no possibility of anything here.
Yeah.
You know? And then we took a decision to put him down. Now, if we can afford such compassion for an animal, what more for the one that has been created in the image and the likeness of God, with all glory and honor bestowed upon to him by or her by God the Almighty? I think humans deserve that privilege and the choice to make that decision.
But I'm the loved one. You can't just take me just like that, you know?
Take you to where? Let's ask that question.
That's true. I do understand what you're saying, and I do get it. But what if I'm feeling like we are not yet done with life? We're not yet.
Yeah, it's your choice. Nobody is going to be forced to take this treatment. Nobody's. It is a treatment that you must ask, and as I said, you must ask for it more than once, more than twice. There must be counseling involved. There must be support. We must make sure that you are in the right state of mind, and the doctors must satisfy themselves completely that there are no medical alternatives. So we are asking for a strictly regulated, highly regulated situation here.
Yes.
Yes.
And how does this concept relate with the idea of salvation and living like Christ?
Well, we are talking about two different things here. Salvation and living like Christ is very different from being terminally and irredeemably ill while suffering. You are terminally ill, there's no help for you medically, and you are definitely, there's only one eventuality here, which is death. And one is then given the option to say, I want to take it. So you might be very well surprised that very few people will take this option. Anyway, we may be making a noise about a lot of nothing here. But anyway, that is the choice that we want people to have.
Yes.
The issue of salvation and living like Christ, salvation is for the living. Salvation is for the healthy, for the strong. Whilst you are still here on earth, establish a relationship with God that shall give you life and save your soul. And you are still, it is a process that is anticipated for people that are yet alive, that are still alive.
Yes.
And if you want to talk about salvation at the point of death, well, we've got biblical evidence of people that repented right at the end of their life. And the typical example is the example of the criminal on the cross with Christ.
Yes.
Who repented and received the grace and the favor of God just at the point of death. And we've got countless evidence from other people who received Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior and turned their life and destiny just at the point of death. So the salvation and medically assisted dying, whether you are asking for medical assistance in dying or you are just dying the natural way,
Yes.
you both have got the option to receive Jesus Christ, to receive God, and to repent at that point. As I say, the nature of your death, it doesn't matter. I mean, if the sinless Son of the living God died in the most horrible, gruesome way, I hope nobody ever dies like that. If he died like that, that was a message sent to all of us that the nature of your death does not really matter. What matters is the state of your soul.
Okay. And then with that, would you then say that's basically the support from a scriptural point of view in the assisted dying within the Bible? We're looking at the thief on the cross as well, and I don't know. Maybe I would even just as a far thingy, we could even look at people like John the Baptist. Could look at many different people in terms of the support from the scripture. Then acknowledge. So I acknowledge life as stages of happiness, pain, death and sickness and all that. And a lot of us would accept life, that life will not be easy. But with most, they might just struggle a lot to understand why God would allow suffering, especially in cases that require palliative care and with no hope for life. And is this basically like to test our faith when we look at suffering? And what glory does it bring to leave people with no choice but to suffer when you can choose to end their suffering.
That's exactly the point we are trying to help people to understand. And is to say, suffering is not godly. Suffering does not glorify God. Suffering does not bring salvation to the soul. Suffering does not add value in any way, shape, or form, especially when we're talking about terminally ill people that cannot be helped in any way. Suffering doesn't make sense there. But you and I right now are strong and healthy.
Yes.
And when you go through suffering, it's undesirable. We hope and pray that nobody goes through suffering.
Yes.
But we also know that part of the rhythm of life includes suffering, pain, problems, challenges, crises. And when you go through suffering and you are still strong and alive, and there's a potential for you to recover from that,
Yes.
there is a sense in which suffering refines the character and the soul of a person. There are certain lessons in life that you can only learn them during a phase of suffering.
Okay.
Because even certain qualities, for instance, let me use endurance, or what we call patience, as an example. How do you develop patience? Except the fact that you've got to be put in a state where you are going to be forced to endure
Yes.
an undesirable situation. And the more and more you go through the state of endurance, you are developing the muscle of patience. But you're also, on the other hand, developing the muscle of humility, which is a great quality as well. Yabo? You have been humbled, you have been strengthened, but you're also deepening your faith.
Okay.
But it can also shape your ideas or refine your perspectives. You know, when everything is going well,
Yeah.
we sometimes take a lot in life very for granted. And we take things easy, and we sometimes become dismissive of people's pain and reality. And we become arrogant sometimes.
Yes.
But when you get to a place where you are humbled by pain, by suffering, by loss, by grief, or whatever you're going through, it changes your personality, it changes your character. It refines the way you process and see things. It opens up your horizons. It deepens your faith and your thinking process. You become a refined human being.
Okay.
And therefore, the value of suffering, I see the value of suffering in that.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
some people never or seldom do the praying thing. But when they are humbled, they get to a point where they are down and out. They're at the bottom, the rock bottom of life. That's when they develop a different relationship with God, with self, with others, and they change their perspective. And that is the gift of pain and suffering.
Okay. No, it does make sense. It does make sense, and I hope that many people do understand the reason to why enduring that suffering can really, it can really put you down. I do remember, with my grandfather, where he suffered really for quite some time in hospital, and it really was, it took even us, it can take you away from God, seeing someone that you love suffer so much, and you don't know what to do about it. Look, we didn't take that direction, but eventually he went to be with the Lord, which was basically in God's hands. But at the same time, just that period of seeing him suffer would take you yourself away from even experiencing God's miracles or God's love.
In fact, Pastor, until you've gone through the process, you will never understand the crucial importance of this. I pity and look with compassion and listen with compassion and shut my mouth when I encounter people that are quick to judge and offer opinion on a situation they know nothing about, in a situation that they have never encountered. I pity them.
Yes.
I don't judge them. I just observe them. I observe the fact that they don't know what they are talking about. I observe the fact that they've not walked where I have walked. I understand and receive them, give them compassion.
Yes.
Because until you have walked where someone who has been in this situation has been, you will never fully understand where they are coming from. Hence, it is important, and maybe that is why Jesus said, you are not to judge each other.
Yes.
You are to love each other. You know? So this is one issue that leaves humanity at a vulnerable state. Think about this. When you are at a stage of terminal illness with suffering,
Yes.
medicine can help you. Science can help you.
Yes.
Your money can help you. Your connections can help you.
Yes.
Your education, your prestige, your social and economic status, nothing can help. You know, in life, there are a few problems that we just throw money at.
Yes.
This is one of the problems that we cannot throw money at. It is one problem that makes the richest and the poorest to be on a playing level.
Yes. Yes.
Because you can be a billionaire, but if you get to a point where you are so sick and vulnerable and nothing can help you, there's nothing you can do. Your billions will not help you. And so, medical assistance in the state we are talking about, it is a humbling state that reminds us that we are dust, and unto dust
We.
we shall return. You know? It is a very deep God moment of reconciling us with the fact that ultimately we are actually not in control and our power is limited.
Yes.
And our vulnerability opens us up to our dependence on God. It is a God moment. And may we receive that without judging it.
Yes.
Because people are being refined at that defining moment.
Yes. Okay. And just speaking of rest as well, you do have a retreat coming soon. This is exciting news because Yamato, you know.
Yabanna.
Yeah, and we've been talking about a lot of serious things now. Now we need to compose. Yeah. Your retreat mainly for men, and we've just come out of mental health month for men. You know, men's mental health, where we even have seen, you know, some of our, like one of our players who took his life, which was very sad. And what direction are you looking to take with this retreat?
We want to do shadow work. We want to do shadow work because there is a lot that rests in our shadows as human beings and as men in particular.
Yes.
We have a lot that lurks in the shadow areas of our lives, and we never really face those demons face to face.
Yes.
And challenge them head on and deal with them. We almost like allow our demons to just reside in the shadow part of our lives until they creep in on us and we snap at the most vulnerable time, you know. And when that happens, it is too late. And so part of our responsibility as men is to cleanse the demons in our shadows,
Yes.
to face ourselves and be vulnerable. And so this retreat of men creates a safe space where men can come together, where there are no women, where there are no children, where there is no pressure from work, but they can be there and be vulnerable and be open and be in a brotherly camaraderie, the fellowship of brotherhood that brings people who understand and receive each other
Yes.
with love and compassion, and help each one of them to understand that it is okay to be vulnerable. You don't have to be macho. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to perform for anybody. You don't have to be productive. It is okay to take time for you. You don't have to have all the solutions.
Yes.
But you can rest in the knowledge that you yourself are deeply loved by this God who seeks to carry you and help you to understand that you carry in you something greater and powerful that is worth protecting and nurturing. And so we want to reconnect people with the power of vulnerability.
But wouldn't people then, or some men, wouldn't they say that's demasculating?
That is exactly the kind of mentality that we want to deal with through this retreat. That we were socialized to believe that we have got to always be strong, be able to provide answers, and be able to provide food and money and be everything to everyone,
Yes.
you know. And this is saying you've got to take care of yourself first.
Yes.
And vulnerability is strength. Vulnerability
Yeah.
is strength because it is when you are vulnerable that you are allowing the God mystery and power
Yes.
to take over your life and operate almost as a background system
Yes.
that runs in the subconscious of your life and leads your life in a way that makes you to be powerful and yet vulnerable.
Okay.
And understand that you're not always in control. It's a misnomer. It's a myth to think that we are always in control. We are not. Yes.
Okay. And when is this retreat going to be? How much is it going to be? And where are you taking the men?
We are taking this retreat to the Pahama Lodge. We were there earlier on in the year in April with a mixed group of men and women. It was a lovely, it is a beautiful retreat site. There's nature, there's mountains, there's a running river. And there was even game there. We watched animals, we fed zebras. It is just a lovely, lovely spot, and they offer very beautiful, nice food.
Yes.
It will be from the 13th to the 15th of November, and we are calling all men to make sure that they register for this particular retreat. It will be towards the end of the year in a strategic place like that, so that we can look back and be able to reflect, unwind, and journal our experiences and share our experiences, so that we then begin the process of cleansing our minds, our souls, and our spirit for 2027. So it is strategically placed weeks before we go into the December festivities, but few weeks before the start of the new year. And that will be able to then do the therapy and the magic that we are intending to offer through this retreat. And the amount, it's 3,000 rand.
Yes.
And I said to people, we need to invest in our well-being.
Yes.
We play golf. We pay a lot of money when we do golf. We invest in gym. We invest in other things. And some of us, like me, I invest in books because, I value my mind. But we need to invest in us.
Yes.
We need to invest in us. And therefore, we are putting this price, and we're saying, if you put value into this thing, then you must be willing to put financial investment to it. And I promise you, we've got witnesses who have gone through our burning bush retreat.
Yes.
And the testimonies we get out of there are amazing. And there is a surprise that I will not be able to disclose now. Towards November, that will coincide with that. Wow. It is going to be a big launch that is happening, coinciding with that retreat. So there's a lot in store that God is preparing, and we are excited about it.
That's exciting. And should you feel like you want to sponsor a man as well, I think you can contact, you will see, we'll put the poster here right now, or is it this camera or that one? I don't know, but we'll put the poster here right now, and you can contact Burning Bush. It's Burning Bush what?
Yes, retreat.
Men's retreat, yes.
Nompumelelo Mabuza
yes.
is our contact person, and the contact details are on the poster.
Okay, no, that's great. And I'm excited about this one, and I think men, we should take care of ourselves. We'd really, really put more into this. And it's a good thing for us to do it in November, because at least you'd have done something that will, by the time you get to the noise in December, you are at peace. And as men, we always try to find a place where we can have peace. And women, this is one of the best Christmas gifts that you could actually get your men. So if you are married or it's your boyfriend, take him to this retreat and pay for him. We too deserve not to buy us socks every time and mugs, but get us to this retreat.
And handkerchiefs.
And handkerchiefs, get us to these retreats. And I think that's how we can operate. Ruti, thank you so much for having this conversation.
Thank you.
It's always a joy.
Invitation.
Yeah, it's always a joy to just learn more from you. And as they say, indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili, and you are in front, and you know how these things go, and you're teaching us more.
No, thank you guys for the privilege
Yes.
to share in this powerful platform. In fact, I pray that may God bless this podcast platform
Thank you.
and grow it
Yes.
leaps and bounds, because I think it's a unique platform that reaches people, that seeks to heal people, that seeks
Yes.
to open people's minds and reach to young people in particular. So may God bless this space and grow it
Oh,
and
thank you.
increase your territory.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Muruti. And shout out to the producer, Swoo, aka the CEO. Must check him out. You want photography, videography, anything to do with media. Look for Swoo. His number is there. Yeah, you'll see his contact details there. And no, thank you very much. It's Quiet Conversations with L. Jackson Pastoor and Rev Mogomotsi Diutlwileng in the building. You know what I'm saying? We out. Peace.
Thank you.